And we're here. Goddamn
Hello
right.
and welcome to the fucking podcast.
The podcast of podcasts. And how's that working out for you? What if I just that was the podcast? As I just sort of aggressively said that to everyone every Monday. like,
Yeah, and how's that work? How's that going for you?
Yeah. Oh, like because you know how like every week sometimes you have like a goal in your head, like, well, I'm gonna get it together like that, and it's like it's almost like this podcast should be turned on right when that fails. Like right when like whatever goal you've had
That's what the
falls
show's for.
apart. Yeah, like when you're just like, oh no, I'm gonna work out this week, and it's like it's the middle of the afternoon, you're shirtless eating cake over a sink, and then you're like, I'll just listen to a podcast, and it's like, and how's that working out for you? You know, that should be the intro.
That really is what it is. We don't believe in you.
But if you could believe in us, that'd be great.
That would be awesome. Yeah,
That'd be nice.
No, I do believe. Actually, speaking of working out, I've actually kind of fucking stuck to it this time. It's been a few months now, and it feels so. I'm like, fingers crossed. It's just the Prozac, dude. It's the Prozac and the weather that I'm like, when you don't want to die, it's actually so easy to do stuff.
It's amazing how easy it is. Like, it was like, there's this
It's so easy.
Big suicidal just feels like you have this errand you have to run all the time. You know, you're like, I gotta cross that off my to-do list, and I can't really get to anything else. Like, you feel like you're procrastinating on, like, the biggest item on your to-do list.
You said being suicidal? I thought you said big suicidal. You know what big suicide doesn't want you to know is that actually...
that you're lovable and life is grand. Yeah.
Big suicide is starting a propaganda campaign to think that you're not worthy.
Yeah. You're not actually a big-nosed fuck who doesn't deserve love, no matter what big suicide is putting out there.
Oh my God. One of the funniest projections that I ever... We can cut this if you want. I don't know if you want it out there, but it made me laugh so hard. We were opening for a comic at Comedy Bar, and he kind of looked like you. And it was just the perfect example of how like projecting self-hatred is like, it seemed so like, you seemed like you were just putting yourself down in your head, but when it comes out, it's like, wow. He was talking about something and you were like, yeah, you know, it's hard because you probably just think you're like a big-nosed fuckface who doesn't deserve love. And I was like, Kenyon, he doesn't know that you hate yourself. You just said that to a guy. And he was kind of like, what? It's like he doesn't know that's a... It's just such an insane thing to say to a person for no reason. It just seems so mean. Well, obviously, you want to
it's like
yourself.
I love how I took like just extreme bitterness and self-hatred like as a given. I was like, yeah, you know, you wake up in a pool of despair, and then you look in the mirror and you almost break it because you hate what you see.
Hey.
Okay. Sorry. I was getting caught up in the moment. The self-hatred was a lot. But I was like, yeah, you know what it is. You just wake up. You almost break the mirror because you hate what you see. Like, I thought that'd be like a relatable bit.
You used to pitch bits where it was like, it wasn't that they were bad jokes. It was just that the premise was you being this like gargoyle monster. And I was like, that's why it's bombing, is because your self-perception is actually so divorced from reality, the joke doesn't work.
They're like, this joke would make sense if those things are true, and they're not. Because I'm just,
Yeah.
I think I had a joke one time that's like basically for safe sex at my high school, they just passed around masks of my face for everyone to wear.
I mean, it's
which
so
is like just
mean to yourself.
Which
It's
is just
sad.
so inaccurate, and it's so funny because like last night I was doing a joke about like being single at the Laugh Factory. I got like an applause break, which implies like, hey, you're single and we'd like to fuck you. And 19-year-old me, my brain would explode. I'm like, no, I'm like the standard of ugly. Like if you just look up ugly, like there'd be my headshot.
It's so funny that like, yeah, like I used to have jokes about like, just about like, I could never love my kid because it's half me, and it's like, Jesus, dude. But it's also like, yeah, you're 16. It's like, yeah, it's like an emo kid doing stand. But that just is so funny to listen back and be like, wow, I really like, my self-image was so fucked. For the mental health check-in theme of the pod, how is your self-image. Mine's getting a lot better.
Oh,
I'm,
my
like,
self-image
actually
is
feeling-
great. My self-image is awesome. I mean, material conditions, terrible. But self-image is like, things are going great. I mean, I just look at things are going good, you know? Like, again, I got an applause. I said I was single, and I got an applause break like I just said I got married. And I was like,
That's
I
hilarious.
stood there shocked. I was like, what am I doing? And in the past, I thought like, oh my God, like if anyone could ever love little old me. And I got like a woo, and I was like, what? All I had to do was get a haircut, use some moisturizer.
It is insane how much fucking taking care of yourself changes things. I thought I was so fucking ugly, and then I got a skincare. I mean, I look a little insane right now. We're in a little bit of a Danny DeVito era right now, but it's a comedy podcast. It's cool to look like shit, but it's like, oh, if I just do my hair and have a skincare routine, it's like I'm not a bridge troll, which is crazy.
No.
You know what was such a big game changer for me too recently in the like self-image department is okay, so I always wanted to be like, I need to be like 98 pounds, like heroin chic, gaunt cheeks. I was like, that's the only way I'll look attractive, is if I'm so skinny it's scary.
Which,
And
by
then
the
I was
way,
like-
looks hideous. Like,
Yeah,
it
it's like
looks
not
like
even-
you're sickly. Because I went down that route where I lost like a shit ton of
Yeah,
weight.
it's like
Everyone's
not even-
Are you okay? They're like, this guy looks sick.
But you know what blew my mind is I was like, I always wanted to be so skinny. And then I was watching porn and the woman in it was like really curvy. And I was like, and I thought it was so hot. And I was like, that's my ass. I was like, I'm jerking off to girls that look
you know-
like
and you
me.
just zoom
So
out.
I can't be that fucking ugly.
You just zoom out, and it was you all along. You just realized the first step to loving yourself is coming to yourself. You know what I mean? You got to watch porn of you, and you're like, wow, that's a really hot, like, emotionally intelligent guy. And they're like, we got a surprise for you. We filmed you last night. Okay. And that's you, buddy. You know, you were jerking off for you. What is
you're like-
coming other than the ultimate applause break? I mean,
You're
truly.
like, thanks, that's really sweet. Also, you just ruined my life.
Yeah. Also, what is? Yeah, my brain is broken. I never want. That's
filmed
a
me?
level of there's self
That's a
love,
fun-
and then going down the board. It's like my fetish is I just look at myself. Fetish.
That
Yeah.
is, which is not what I was saying, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't mean that.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, but I'm like, oh, I get why a curvy body type is hot, because I think it's so. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with me? That would be a fun prank show for us to start, though. Is a prank show. We find people who like hate themselves and think they're ugly, and then we film them fucking, and then we make them jerk off to it, and we're like,
Sure, and they're like,
"Surprise,
"Isn't
buddy."
that hot?" And they're like, "That was you, buddy." And they're like, "Yeah." Like what? And they're
It's
like,
hosted
"How
by
did-"
Ashton Kutcher, and it's called Sex Crimes. It's called Committing a Sex Crime on Television.
It'd be great if Punk'd really did just like horrible thing where it was like
Punk, like, killed your dog.
you're like it's like you're at your mom's funeral and then she pops out like, it was Punk'd, we got you. And it's like, yeah, we had your mom fake her death. Like some like deep psychological like fucking fuck with you shit.
Who made you think your son shot up a school and you had to like come to terms with like if you still loved him? And they're like, surprise! No,
It was a
he's
paintball
honorable.
gun. Yeah. No, we are all crisis actors. Yeah, we exist. We're real and we
No,
were used this one time.
this one actually was fake. Yeah.
Yeah, this one was fake. Yeah.
Have you ever been the recipient of like a prank, like a proper planned
Not
out
like
prank?
a fun prank.
You were like, well, my dad sucked. Does that count?
Yeah. My dad did this funny prank where he took the car and dressed in a work uniform, but he actually was a job that he had lost several weeks ago, and he stole the car to try to move to Canada. So that was a pretty fun one. That was I wish Ashton
one
Kutcher
sorta, that
came
sorta
out
got
and was
me.
like, yeah, came out and was like, oh, your mom wants to go to work and you would love to, I don't know, see your father? Gotcha, punked. Just my dad in Vancouver running an anarchist bookshop or whatever. Well, this one, I have another prank, but this one's just sad. This is just bullying. But somebody, in middle school, somebody was like, "Hey, there's like this bird stuck under this bush. Could you help me like rescue it?" And I was like, "Totally, sure." And then they just got me to like look down or whatever, like kneel down so that somebody could like push me over somebody else, like a tabletop thing. And I got pushed down in front of the courtyard. So that sucked. And then I immediately started I was like, I'm gonna take my goddamn, not like a school shooter way. I was just like trying to think of some other way to like avenge, but I never came up with anything. That was just a sad memory. We had it with the dad prank, and then I just brought up genuine bullying, and I thought I would find the punchline, but I did. Yeah, no, I just got pushed down in front of everybody. But you know what?
So then we were like, yeah.
That left a deep hole in my heart, which I tried to fill throughout my entire life, and eventually found that laughter, not the best medicine, but the best temporary way to fill the void. And that brought us to this podcast. So I got to thank that guy.
Yeah, shout out to the girl that called me Thunder Thighs in first grade because we booked Comedy Central, baby.
Yeah, you fucking bitch.
Yeah, dude. I'm trying to think if like there were any proper like. I don't know that I've really been pranked. I mean, the closest thing we were like playing like Truth or Dare at like high school parties and stuff. One time a girl kissed me as a prank, and I was like, "Ah, ha, ha, so funny, hated that." It was like a Truth or Dare thing. Like, wouldn't it be so silly if we kissed right now? And looking back, I'm like, I love you.
Yeah. You're like, wow, this would be so silly if we like got naked and lied together and said our deepest, darkest secrets into each other's eyes. That'd be hilarious.
Do you want to like date for 6 months as like a bit? As like just like a funny bit.
Oh my god. That is Truth or Dare. I kind of jumped right over all the like my childhood truly went from like I was like a little kid playing tag to like just right into like despair and dark. I don't think there was ever any like we're fucking around doing innocent
you
things.
were playing tag and then God was like, "You're it." Run, motherfucker.
Yeah. No,
Run.
truly. There is no home base. You'll have to try to find that within your entire life. Like, it just went from, like, me playing tic-tac-toe to then snorting live. Like, it was just, like, a pretty quick progression. There was, like, no in-between. It just went boom, boom. There's no, like, innocent, like, fun little... It was, like, you think bounce houses are cool, and now we're in a basement... like just getting high as hell, and then doing stand up. Like that's those are the childhood. It's just so wild.
Becoming so adult and then regressing to stand up. Oh, we got Rabbit on the bed. Check it out.
Oh, there we go.
As you were like, I never had a childhood, and I'm like, I'm still 9 years old. There's a rabbit on my bed.
It's a cute little rabbit. I thought.
Well, how's the mental? Oh no, go ahead.
Well, speaking of animals, this has to do with animals. So my mental health is pretty good, although today, before I got on, I was very pissed off. And the following may be one of the saddest sentences I've ever said. But I was pissed off because the cat at the apartment, Moose, bit me. And because of that, I am unable to donate blood plasma today. And that... That is why, which is a horrifyingly sad statement to say at 26 years old. Where I was like, God damn it, Moose! I'm eating pasta for a week again. Do you know what you've done? You piece
But
of
you have to
shit.
eat pasta for a week before you donate blood plasma?
No, I just have to eat pasta for a week because I don't have any money.
Oh.
You don't have to carbo load with pasta. It's actually the other way. I'm just saying I have to eat pasta for a week because Moose fumbled the bag because Moose wanted to do a fun little bit and take a bite out of my fucking bag right now because I was going to take... Here's the thing. Some people, my assets are watches I can pawn and my own blood. Those are... That's my portfolio. And so I was planning on...
Are you liquid? Yeah. I'm there's plenty of liquid in my body.
We got some liquid. We're on liquid. We got the whole thing going. And I was just like, all right, sweet. Gonna do this pod. And then I'm gonna... It's so sad to be like, yeah, dude, stuck in the grind. And you just got a tube in your arm as they're milking you, as they're stealing your life force. Which...
Dude. Podcast to selling blood is insane. I'm going to sell my personality, and then I'll sell my insides.
There's nothing about me that you can't buy. Yeah, you got it. You want my thoughts. You want my feelings. You could take my blood. Hell, I'll send you my cum. Welcome to Kenyon's Emporium. I have no boundaries, no hope. Hey.
You're like the fucking girl in Les Mis being a prostitute and like selling her teeth and her hair and
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I wish I could call. Hey, you guys take teeth? Hey, so I can't bit me today. I got some good teeth, though.
we take a cash or card. Do you take Apple Pay? And do you take teeth?
Yeah.
Putting your teeth on the counter of a fucking gas station.
It'd be great if you just like Apple Pay where it's just an apple that I bite like my 4 teeth in there. I'm like, here's some good molars, dude. I should be able to at least get $40 from TJ's from these molars.
You selling teeth and eyelashes to like Bushwick witches that are doing spells with them would be great. That's a little microeconomy we can get.
You know what's great is this is how down bad I am. In my head, I'm like, that's a great idea. Like, I'm like, let's talk about that post-pot. I'm like, do you know anybody? I'm like, and I could lie to him. I'll be like, this Salvadorian exotic hair will give you the, like, I'll just try to convince him, like, you could tap into the Mayan and then bring, like, some Incas, some, like, sun god to do whatever. And then I'll just convince some, like, I don't know, daughter of a Raytheon CEO in Brooklyn to like buy my pubes for $1,000. That would be great. That would be honestly the best accomplishment of my life. If I could just scam rich like trust fund kids into like buying my pubes and claiming it has magical powers. That I would that getting money from that would mean more to me than like my first special. Like if I like actually convince someone, they're like, oh my god, and then they're like rubbing it in their eyes or something. Like this will keep Capricorns away from me.
Who won colonialism now, bitch?
Yeah, that's reparations. That's oh my god, that would be great. No, that's the thing is like everyone's like whenever people try to make fun of people that have OnlyFans, I'm like, buddy, it's coming. Like the second I get abs, it's coming.
Oh my god, I've thought about like doing porn that's so fetishy that it's not sexual to me because then if it like porn like where it's like a woman eating on a live stream and
you know
like,
what that is a real it's called vor. It's a real thing.
Oh no, I know. I was like pretending that I was like, oh, this crazy thing. I know.
We're both weirdos on the internet. I'm like,
I'm not into it, but I was curious because I was like, there's people like stepping on gummy bears and being like, you're so tiny. It's like, if I did that, if that tape leaked, I wouldn't be like, oh God, my sex tape. I'd be like, to me, that is not sexual. But I could be making porn money. Being in like non-sexual porn, kind of interesting. Or like feet pics. I've had guys DM me being like, can I buy pictures of your feet? And I've been like, how low of a price is sad? Like, what's the cutoff? You know what I mean? Because if it's like $15, it's like, come on, dude.
Yeah, I mean, you got it. You got to go.
Slut, okay.
You got to go at least 50 for any sort of like. If you're entering the world, you gotta talk to your agent. Set up like a set price.
Calling my agents and being like, do you want like a commission of the feet pics that I'm?
Yeah.
I have fucked up toes though, dude. My toes they look like a British person's teeth. The middle one is like smaller. It's like I don't have cute feet.
I think
got
people,
a decent
people
ass.
should
I don't
pay.
have cute feet.
They would pay a premium not to see them. Actually, it's the other way around. Like when you send it and they're so horrified that you kind of blackmail them. You're like, it's actually $50 for me not to spam you with these for the rest of your life.
Yeah, it's people. You know the whole saying of like, you got a face for radio. I'm like, I've got feet for writing. Like I can't. I'm not gonna be a foot star. Some people do, even in a non-sexual way. It's like some people have beautiful feet and cute little toes. Like some people, I'm like, wow, you could be like a foot model. Do you know what I mean? I
do. but yeah. You get into that, but I do know what you mean. I will. You know what? I'll defend that. I think it's insane in this society that everyone's like, if you have a foot fetish, that's disgusting. But everyone's eating ass. Objectively less weird. Objectively less weird. A hole where shit falls out of that you're licking with your mouth. The intro of bacteria. You're literally guzzling E. coli. And then you're like, oh, a part of your body that you could wash that most women get like professionally cleaned every 2 weeks. You're like, oh, it's gross. It's gross that I paid attention to a thing that you paid $60 to upkeep. You know what? Shut up. You're an idiot. Two big turnoffs for me. This is a sign of a lame person. If you're against foreskins and you're like people with foot fetishes are weird, you're lame. You're a loser. Okay, I'm like, you're born the way God intended with skin on top. I'm sorry that you got conned out of your garage. All right, that's not my fault. It's not my fault that some schizophrenic cave Jews cut the top off their dick and then and then also, you know, the only reason males are circumcised in the United States is because they thought it would stop masturbation. That's it.
Yes.
That's it.
And I think sex is supposed to be more pleasurable for people who have not been circumcised because they're more sensitive. It is not a turn. It's also like, no, I agree. If you're turned off by foreskin, like, you're kind of a pussy, dude.
You're a loser.
I think it's.
I've had like
like
alpha males, and they're like, oh, that's like so gross, and I'm like, I love that you're trying to be like an alpha dude by being like your dick is gross, and I'm like, oh, so like what do you not like them in your mouth? Like, it's like, okay, you can't. It's like straight like that's fucking gross. It's like, well, maybe don't have an opinion on penises then, because at least mine's not suffering in the draft. Okay, mine's got a nice like hood on. When it's time for business, he comes out, and then he goes back to the living room like God intended. Yours is truly traumatized. He has no home. He's out on the street, and he's had to form a numbness to the world because he has nothing to protect him. Mine's a sensitive, loving boy.
If you're circumcised, your dick is spending its whole life shivering in the cold, waiting at a bus stop, being like,
"It's not the way."
Where do we?
Also, they're like, "Oh, it's gross. It gets infected." If you're that's like a built-in protection of the species. If you can't clean your dick enough to the point where it gets infected, you shouldn't be coming. You shouldn't be making more of you. That should be the end of your line. If you can't remember to wash one part of your body to the point where it becomes a medical problem, that's it. That should be all right. You lost your dick. We're done. You're done with your stick that you can use to make more of.
You've lost your
breeding privileges. That's out.
Yeah.
That's such a built-in fail-safe that we've removed. That we're like, bloop, let's have a free-for-all on morons. And yeah, no, fuck that, dude. I'm proud of it. Absolutely. To be honest, I could never get circumcised because I can't get rid of the only thing my dad's ever given me.
Oh, God. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, but your dad only didn't circumcise you because he's like, they're going to sell his foreskin on the black market to bilk him. Like, it wasn't.
He was like, well, one day I can hand him a flash drive, which he can hide up his foreskin and then take into the. He could take the state secrets out of the country through my foreskin.
The Benghazi emails are in my son's
an autobiography by David. Yeah, but that.
It's so insane, too, when, like. Oh, no,
go
ahead. No, maybe this is more sad than funny, but it's just like, it's so insane when like men's rights activists will be like, we shouldn't circumcise. It's like, sure, yeah, but then they'll be like, it's exactly the same as female.
Yeah, not even a little bit. Not even a little bit.
No, it's
not.
You
could still come pretty well.
They're not.
Yeah, you could still.
Yeah.
It's.
And you're not gonna die from it.
No,
it's like
it's not even. It's. I just think it's annoying. I think it's annoying.
But I said that I was like, I guess it's not really like a riff. That's like actually just like really sad.
It is like how easy has your life been? Where like that's your cause. Like somebody just sees like baby getting circumcised and they're like, my people have suffered for long enough. Like someone's just waking up, like just single tear down my eye, and he's like, when will it stop the bloodshed? Like
when will men finally?
Yeah, that's like such a hilarious thing to say. You just wake up, life's objectively easier all the time, and you're just like, but we don't have that little bit of skin. They took it from me.
What's so crazy too is that like men's rights activists, a lot of the things they're complaining about, it's like actually feminism wants that for you too. Like, it's not an opposite cause. Like, feminism also wants there to be room for, like, men to be able to cry and be more sensitive. It's like, those are not the ways that men do suffer, but it's like not in ways that are opposed to women's liberation. This isn't funny, but it just blows my mind that I'm like, I could get behind men's rights. But it only is like
it's
a
also,
veil
it
for
is
weird
pretty
misogyny.
funny. Like, they're so close but so far, but they're like, women need to get back in the kitchen so I have space to cry. God damn it.
Yeah,
get back in there
and
make me a sandwich so I can finally address my feelings. Like, I need a safe space. Like,
It's insane to be a misogynist and a pussy.
Yeah.
It's like if you're gonna beat me and say that I don't have rights, like at least be a guy that I want to fuck.
That's
You know
all
what I
around.
mean? Like
then just
at
fuck
least,
yourself.
Like husbands in the 50s that were like hitting you and making a sandwich. I'm like, at least John Hamm in Mad Men is like sexy.
Yeah, at
as
least
hell.
he's hot.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I'm like,
Yeah, today's misogynists are nerds.
I'm not gonna be.
You're like, you don't even get laid.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be abused by an incel. Like, suck my dick.
And you probably could get them to. I mean, it's like pretty easy. It's hilarious because they aspire to be that guy, but you're like so like fucking malnourished that it's like you couldn't even beat a woman if you wanted to. Like you literally couldn't. It would just be like it'd be a sad. It's so funny.
Yeah, that's what they have to. They have to attack women now the same way that like Anonymous attacks banks. It's like it's not about the in-person heist; it's about the cybersecurity. They're like going online, being like, "You're a."
Well,
fat
I think
whore.
that's why they're incels. You don't need to try to fuck women because you're already a pussy. You just fuck yourself. You just jerk off. That's that.
It's self-contained.
Yeah, it's good. It's this
Oh, shit,
ecosystem. But yeah, dude.
Okay, wait. Speaking of selling your body for okay, I saw this right before. I didn't send you this,
great.
but when we
Let's
were
get into
I was like looking at like, oh, what was like in the news this week? If we are going to do a news section, I don't know if you saw the CEO of OpenAI testified in front of Congress.
I
Did you
didn't
see that?
at all, actually.
The guy who made ChatGPT, like, or the CEO of that company, testified in front of Congress about like how he thinks there needs to be like government oversight. But I was looking into it. He also is starting this thing. It's called like WorldCoin, and it's supposed to be some like global universal Bitcoin type thing where like you scan your eye, and then that's how you get the crypto. Like that's like a big project that he's like raising.
Okay,
funds
so
for.
when
The
is he
guy-
being immediately arrested? Like again, I've been on. Here's the thing, I am kind of the type of Amish where here's what I want. I want to have a commune. We all can have the first iPhone. Technology up to that point, and then that's it. Then we're done.
Yeah.
You get the basic GPS, you get the first Facebook, and then that's where we peaked. You don't get any more. Like a second, people are start talking about like
You get 2009 like Rage Comics,
That's it.
iFunny,
9gag.
Forever
you
Alone
get that
memes.
going.
That's
it.
great.
But the second people are like,
Yeah.
you scan.
No, I
you
agree.
scan
I'm
your
fully,
eye,
like-
and then you get a Digicoin, and I'm like, all right, when are we burning it down? Like that's where I hear that, and I'm like,
We lost the plot.
Satan is here. Like I hear that, and I'm like, I see the people that are just tilling the fields, churning butter, and I'm like, you were right. I'm joining.
Have you used ChatGPT?
No,
at all?
I stay away from all that. It scares me.
I was curious. It actually is sometimes, but I've like bounced ideas off of it, and I'm like, oh, it's actually kind of because it almost is like you are Googling something, and instead of having to read a bunch of different articles, you can be like, can you give me the gist of the consensus on this? But it is weird because it can lie to you. But it's really interesting to like talk to it and see what I would never know that it wasn't a person. It really is like perfect sentence structure, and like we should you know what we
You know
should
what's
do?
funny? We're gonna have to
We should get it to
see
generate a podcast.
see
for us.
future road hacks make fun of Chat EBT, where it's like, I wanted a soulless thing to lie to me. I just called my ex-wife. You know?
If I have someone, if I wanted someone to spit out codes instead of an opinion, I'd just ask a Democrat.
Yeah, just shitty road hacks making fun of Chat EBT.
That's so funny.
Oh my god.
Take my sex robot.
Yeah, I can't control myself. I haven't eaten in 7 days. I don't remember the last time I've seen sunlight. Someone please take this away from me. I don't remember what the sun looks like. I crawl out of bed every day. I go to the sex robot, and there's like a time lock. I just wait till the time lock stops, and I go right back at it. That might be the end. That might be how feminism wins, is like sex robots come out, and then it's like an apocalypse. Every man's just gone. Like it's like the streets, you just see like tumbleweeds going by, and we're just lost forever. We're just like in our rooms. Enslaved. That will be, if that guy wanted the Digicoin thing, he would be like, we're making these sex robots, and then we all fuck into them or whatever, and then that'll be like how we mine for Bitcoin. Like we get guys to fuck the sex robot, and that creates a Digicoin, and then maybe that's prosperity. We get the incels to fuck the sex robots, and that mines a digital currency, and we use that to make everybody rich. And the most annoying people in the world, they're lost forever, and they're happy because they're fucking I think I've gotten to something.
It's kind of a win-win.
It's kind of a win-win for everybody.
It's also making me think like, like when you're doing stuff online, like everything you're like searching is being recorded so that they can advertise to you more effectively. Like if you're fucking a sex robot, Google is going to start mining like your dirty talk to be able to advertise to you.
And they're like,
more
it's going to have like your
that's gonna be
ex's
on your,
voice.
like-
And it's like, you're right. I should have texted you back. And you're like, oh my God. you're just like jizzing out.
I still think the idea to me of like a free version of a sex robot is really funny, where right in the middle of having sex, they play an ad. It's like you're about to come and you're like, God
You're
damn
like,
it.
fuck.
I have the
should
free
get the
version.
and they're like,
It's like,
you want this to last longer? Please subscribe. And you're like, oh, God damn it.
oh my God, take off me undies. My favorite pair of underwear.
It like dispenses Blue Chew like a Pez dispenser, and you're just eating it. Can you imagine? You kick it hard, and you're like explaining yourself to your sex robot. You're like, sorry, this normally doesn't happen. I'm kind of nervous. The first time I've had like a model like this before. I just was borrowing my cousin's in the past. So, and the sex robot is just like doing a scan where it's like, this is abnormal. Like, I think you're just a loser who can't get hard, and then that finally makes you hard.
Dude, it's fucking the idea of it being sponsored, like having ad promos.
It's like
for anything,
NASCAR.
like, oh my God, you look so good.
That's
You look so good. Did you use Manscaped?
oh my God! Do you want to really
Yeah,
chill
it's NASCAR. Her left tit is like Dasani. You can drink Coca-Cola out of their tits. Like,
oh my
milk.
God! This is a fountain. It just comes like a queso cheese into your mouth like fondue, and you're like, this is awesome. It's glory hole.
He's like, you're so wet, and she's like, thanks. It's liquid death. Seltzer.
Because I think there will reach a point where we reach the pinnacle of this whole thing we jokingly call society. And I think that pinnacle is when you can literally fuck capitalism. Like, you're just fucking it, and it just sprays products into you, and you're just like, give me more. And it's just like, you could like watch your stupid Netflix series, and then it's just shooting like chocolate fondue and like Mountain Dew into your mouth. You like finger, she just spit, like some oxy flies out, and you're like, whoa, this is the whole American experience. And you get to have it all in one robot. That's peak consumerism right there. You pay money so you can fuck your own money. That's all the rich want. If Jeff Bezos' ideal wife would just be a pile of money that he can insert his dick into and just do that all over again. That is if their sexuality was anything, it's just a bunch of money. And then the money could be like, Jeff, you're the best. You own me. And you're like, yeah, you're right. I own all of you.
It's fucking amazing. Oh shit, dude, we're at half an hour. Should we get onto the Patreon?
I think we should jump on the Patreon. Thanks, guys, for listening.
Let's jump on the
It's been a
Patreon.
fun little wild time.
Thanks for tuning in. Hop onto the Patreon for an extra episode every week. I'm on Instagram at Maddie T Wiener. I have a mailing list if you want to come see me do stand up, but that's all on my Instagram.
At Kenyon Adamchick on Instagram. Check out the dates. I'm in Chicago. I'll be in North Carolina, then New York. I'm all around. And just please support the pod. Give it a 5-star. Tell us your friends to listen. I'm trying to donate blood plasma. It's rough out here. All right, just throw us a $5. Mean the world to me. Thanks for listening, guys.
See you next week.